keeps on peeping in at you. How are you doing? How is everybody doing? Hi. Wow, my live was running 2 minutes. What did I do? 2 minutes? Oh, it's just starting. Because when I looked, I see it running for 2 minutes. Oops, my balcony door closed. Guess it's giving me a different look from the sunshine. Gloomy day? Well, guys, yes, it's a gloomy day. But it's sunshine outside. But we're on quarantine. It's called No Movement Day in Jamaica. No Movement Day. That is prescribed by Brogard, PM Wholeness. You know, fascinating nickname we have for Prime Minister. But I mean, you know, one's gotta do what one's gotta do to get some kind of effect. And in life, as they say, life is about taking risks. It's about a gamble. So sometimes you don't even know if what you're doing is right, but on your calculation and checking things out, it seems right. So why not take a chance at it? Yeah. It's scary to watch the amount of people um, that you know and that you see around that dying, and you're like, what the heck? What is happening? So it's really scary. So you tend to try and follow instructions as much as possible, because that was what we learned at school, that if we stick to the rules, follow the instructions, then you won't get hurt, because the rules and the instructions are put in place to protect us. And so far, I'm glad that some of us have been obedient and has been following the rules, and hopefully it will be working for us. Um, so we are not allowed to move 3 days. Well, talking to others, um, others are sharing that 3 days, it's a number three, which is a day of completion, a number of completion. It's a lucky number. Some people, I don't know, they choose to think death or the negative. They take up the negative in, if they're saying we're relating, or Prime Minister is using numerology to help to govern the universal activities, just like how the astrologers or the spiritualists would use, because according to my understanding from reading up numerology, is that it has a spiritual vibration. Numbers have a spiritual vibration to it. So people is like, why they like to talk about the spirit so much, the spirit world instead of the real world. And we're in the real world with the living, and we're supposed to be having a human experience. Well, at the same time of having a human experience, we can have spiritual experience too, because if you know how to relax to the point of um, go into your mind and take yourself out of what's happening now, then you can put yourself into a spiritual world. According to some, they're saying it's your mind game. It's your mind that makes you feel you're speaking to the spirits, or you're speaking to ghosts and you're seeing ghosts and whatever. Well, whatever it is that some of us is seeing, it is real to us. And from experience of going into the church, especially the Catholic Church, and where I studied at the theological seminary, they have taught me that yes, there are people who interact with the spirit world, and as the Catholics do, they would light a candle for the dead. If you have anybody that's dead and the year come around and you want to honor them. So there's a lot of religious explanation as to and the spiritual part of it, because that's where they teach us that there is a spiritual warfare that takes place too, where there is war amongst religions, and whenever that arises, there's going to be a tug of war. And if you give, from my read up and my understanding of how the spiritual world works, if you have dead parents, believe me, if you have dead parents, yes, I'm talking about the dead people. If you have dead parents, they actually watch over you and protect you, especially if you pray and ask them to. Whenever things are happening, even if you might not even know what is happening, and you're in their space and things are happening, they find a way to protect you, initiate you, reveal certain little things. I don't know how it works that way, but I just saw spirit work. Must it dopey? I don't know. But as them say, don't speak about those things, don't give life to those things. But what else are you gonna do when you're faced with these things? Yes, call me crazy if you want to. Listening to some other people who have experienced spirits or ghosts or whatever. Yeah, people always say they're crazy. Well, and sometimes the ghosts and the spirit world make you kind of act crazy and look crazy. Well, so be it. But the good thing is that you know how to manage yourself in the real world as well. And if you know how to manage yourself in the real world and know how to separate when you're out of the spirit world into the real world, when you can separate the two, then I suppose it shouldn't be much of a problem or a trial on you if it calls for you to have to do that. But I still believe our dead ancestors and our parents that you can call on and family members, they do look out for you and cover you. So, as I said, my Catholic church, my priest, his parents were Hindu. When I think about that, he's Indian in the church, and I mean, you can see the conflicts that happens on regular basis within the church when he's there preaching. Because I think they're Hindu, and then they sent him or his four parents, like grandparents or something. So there's gonna be a little tug of war there. I understand it. Don't know if him understand what is happening to him, but such is the life. And I always say, if we are an out of many one people country, and we have so many dead ancestors, even from the slavery time, back in the times, them have so much dead heroes that used to look out for the people and the country and all those things. And they have managed to even bring up forth their presence to protect their people when you're called on them, because they even teach you as the chiefs in Africa and stuff like that teach you that, call on your ancestors if you need them help. You call on them and you ask them and you light a candle for them and you pray, and the spirits will wake up to try and help you, especially if you are doing something that they were a part of, and they know that you're trying to carry on whatever it is that they had left off for you to carry on their work. So it's nothing to be fearful of or scared. I am not scared. I think people who is unaware of it gets a bit frightened and scared. I am not scared. I am, the reason being why I'm not scared, they say, well, the spirit world don't really have that much power over you unless you give it that power over you to make you, become irrational. Yeah, but they give you little insights and little leads. And as in numerology, as they say, numbers have a vibration. If you see a particular number regularly around you throughout the days, according to gambling people will buy cash buttons, so they call it rake. Yeah, but there's a numerology has a vibration, and it's tied to divinity, and the whole Roman numeral versus the numerology that Pythagoras used for his mathematician calculation and understanding of how to implement it into our society, then it is something that can be considered, and you can work with. You can work with it because it is a hint. It is a hint. Now, suppose you are at home, and because if okay, numerology is something like what the horoscopes use. You see, like the um the the astrologist, horoscope, Capricorn, Aquarians, Pisces, those are horoscopes. So numerology sometimes work within that kind of universal atmospheric vibration that makes things happen for you. So I guess when they start talking about the occult and stuff, this is something I'm not really a part of. I don't really do this. But as I said, I can read and understand things, and if I don't understand things, I might ask you about it, and if you're able to explain it to me too, I don't mind. I am willing to listen, as I considered myself the lifelong learner, Chrissy. So feel free to share and explain and correct if you feel I have erred on anything. But from my understanding, from what I read, especially from what I studied, going to higher education and researching materials myself, it is said that the numerology and the astrology and the occults and the whole excitement of masonry, and they have lodge and a whole heap of D. Lawrence and Illuminatis and all those things that binds people into wanting to make a success of their life while they live here quickly, goes by an order. Yeah, it goes by a numerological order. So, sweetie pie, if let's say they're saying the prime minister is in his 7th year of leadership, the seventh, according to numerology, is a completion, truth, from Pythagoras, matching of the letters and the explanation. 7 is truth, but in the Bible spiritually, because as I say, the numbers, Roman, whether it's Roman numerals or the Western culture numerals, number 7 represents something. And since PM is using his 7th year, which is 2021 of reigning, 4 plus 2, 4 plus 3, I think it's like go 4, 5, 6, 7. If this is actually 7th year, I don't even remember, because sometimes I can't even try and process everybody's information in my head in addition to my information. But since I was called on to listen this out and think about it and research it myself, because I don't just take people's information just like that. When somebody is just like when I go to church and church preacher preach to me, because in the Bible it said you have false prophets that's leading people astray and all those things. Even when people read the Bible and things like that, I look it up myself. Anything I don't understand, I read it myself and try and understand what is being said, because as it is said, we interpret whatever it is we're seeing from our perception depending on our environment. And as some people were saying with numerology, remember there's a time frame which it can make things wacky, because in some countries, suppose you're in Hong Kong or Australia and you're in Jamaica, there's a time difference. So if you're born, suppose some people might say they're born this time in Jamaica, and then it happened to be that time in Africa or Hong Kong or let's say Australia, or those countries that is a day ahead or of us or whatever. It gives you a different time vibration. So then you have two personalities. So that is a contradictory. That is a contradictory numerological. What would you say? Explanation to credit that to an individual. But what I believe is that the one you accept and within that culture,
that you're working with at that particular time, that is where the vibration is of that number that will work for you. So sometimes some people will be like, then how they say numerological number will work for me because I am a seven and it is now this time of the year, it is the seventh year, and now it is now at the seventh hour, and and because of that, it is now time of truth. Because number seven relates to truth. Um, so I guess it depends on the culture and your time and which one you relate to yourself. It's just like how you name a child. At birth, you name a child a particular name, and the name that wears on the child follows the child throughout their lifetime and actually leads them to certain destination or where they need to go and certain happenings. And it attracts, the name and the numbers attracts even angels and spirits to guide them, you know. um, so when they say bro God is in his seventh year, that's year of truth. So what truth is to come out of it if it is the seventh year? Truth of his leadership, truth of whatever he is doing. Personally, there's going to be a lot of revelation about this young man as a pro God. And I believe in the sense that if you're a leader of a particular party and you got prominence by a leader who was retiring, and they put you in the position for your other members to vote you in and confirm that you are the one they want to lead them. It's professionally done in a professionally way, proper way, civilized way, normal way. You know, have little manners, and they accept him. Then therefore, after that, then the truth, let the truth be told that how he becomes into his position and what other revelations need to come on how he's going to govern his people, because there are certain things he might have learned from his predecessors and the people who has voted into that position on what he should do and how is his behavior and whatever it is. So let's say he is going to use his numerology to govern his people. So I'm saying, yes, there's a lot of people might be scared about numerology, but don't some of the churches, because it is said the Mormons use numerology, and if there's an occultic group of the lodge and whatever other groups out there that is using numbers to government, because they even said the table of Jupiter, and that's the astrological whole setup, have something to do with the masonry of using the 34 as their number, which adds up to the 7. So with a number like that, that is practically number of completion. So if it's a number of completion, do we die after number 7? Or it is to complete the task, because number 8 is the infinite number that repeats and starts all over again. Yeah? So on my understanding of numerology, then some people may say number 7 because it's completion, it's death. Yeah? And they use number 3, you know, according to the Roman numeral, because there's a challenge now, you know, between the Roman numeral and the numerology Pythagoras mathematical explanation, because the Roman numerology might be related spiritually within the occultic behaviors. Them have little clues and explanations that they link to their number through divinity of their practices. I don't know. As I say, I am not into no mystery or occultic groups, so I don't understand or know how they do their things, because that's their secret. But I am just saying, if so be the case, since Pythagoras' own is the mathematical explanation of which people use all along, I can relate to the Pythagoras one, because I understand the explanation that they say from 3, and the Bible one, where the Bible says number 3 now is the Trinity, and it comes in threes, and in threes you have birth, life, and death. You understand? And it have, the whole Trinity in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. So if you're dealing with the Trinity, then you have the human, the Heavenly Father, and then you have the ghost, so the spirit, and they all come as one and make things happen. So when you are, some people might say no, three is supposed to be death, or because um the, I don't know why three is death, but according to my research, three is actually a lucky number, and according to Romans, it is the Roman numerals. Um, the person who came up with the Roman numerals see three as their beginning. They said that is the beginning. According to them, then put a zero, and then they said number three is, according to them, is the beginning of real real number, real things to happen then. So sweetheart, if PM is using this three number then, and he's saying he's gonna punish us for 3 days. Today, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, 3 days. So that means when the next day come, that is supposed to be a beginning, a new beginning, right? Those who want to see it as death, I don't know why, and if they're just trapped into a negative spin, or they use those negative to get me to research and read up and try to understand for myself, because as they've said, them know I'm stubborn. Them know I don't just take information just so and swallow it, because that's just not my makeup. I am very calculative. I like to, I'm a gambler, yes, and I take risks, and at the same time, I'm calculative in the risks that I take. In the same way, how I was able to analyze, should I take the vaccine now or wait a little later? It's a calculative move I use. Yes, I'm a risk taker, but I had to calculate that out. So I wouldn't run to go take the vaccine quickly, because I understood that they had just developed it, emergency speedily, to try and help the situation of the virus taking over the whole world. So I had to look and say, okay, who they're using as guinea pigs to test these vaccines on? How do they know how much amount to give to the people? Um, what is going to happen to them when they do this? And it is worrisome, but what are we going to do? We have to do something to protect ourselves. And yes, the foods and the herbs of our lands was what God gave us. And if we're believers of God, yeah, believers of our Heavenly Father that created the plants and the earth and the land and the soil for us to farm our produce to eat, then we should believe that the medicines is in the plants to nourish us. But then again, guess what? As I said, I'm a calculative gambler. I am going to look on, do I have access to all those plants and vegetables and foods that are supposed to be my medicine for my body? Is my body going to be strong enough? That's one. That's point one when you're analyzing it. Point two, is my body going to be strong enough when I expose myself or have my body exposed in certain environments that might carry this virus highly? Right? Three, um, how many people that I know have taken the chance by not taking the vaccine and has caught the virus and body could not fight it off, in comparison to those who took the vaccine and might have recovered. Three. So there I go, three again. 3 points that I had to look on to calculate it out, and on looking on it and checking it out, sweetheart, yes, I opted to take the vaccine now because it was becoming overwhelming. My head was hurting me with the thoughts and the whole rush and the panic. The access to not being able to gain access to as much bush medicines. Like if I was in the country, you know, I would have actually, I would have actually had access even from the trees that I plant and the trees that we water and grow, you know. And it was just so overwhelming that I got the big injection, and it still hurts my arm. Yeah, the muscle pain. It's a massive injection, I suppose, or whatever it is. But what are we gonna do? The good thing is that the rest of my body is coming back to normal, and I don't have that much headache. If I eat my food and stuff, I don't have so much headache. If I don't eat my food and I'm hungry, and if I'm doing too much, then like running up and down, going up and down, and people calling me to do this and do that, then it's gonna affect me where I kind of feel overwhelmed and fatigued and tired. So, as them say, it normally take a good amount of days to work through your body, and we just have to keep each other in prayers, and just keep, as soon as the natural remedies come, you still boost up your immunity with it. Still boost up your immunity with it. There's nothing we can do about um, being perfect, you know, to say that we have everything under perfect control. No, it's not under perfect control. We are actually shaking, falling apart, but I mean, it is our leaders who is supposed to have things under control more than us. So therefore, they can't expect the people to not panic when they see them panicking. if if the leaders are panicking, it either shows that they are weak, they're not coping too well, and they don't know what they're doing. So we just saying the leaders have to show that they are handling it well, and they're coping, and they're doing their part and what they're doing. So I actually like that little list that Brogard posts on all his cabinet ministers that have taken the vaccine, to reassure he's trying his best to work on protecting the people. The good thing is that he's 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 doing what is expected of him to do, because he's human, and he can do so much and no more, right? Because of his human side. He has access to bigger leaders and world information, and you know how to ask for help if he needs it. So let's hope he utilizes those arenas and know that he should ask for help if he need it, and what should he do as he govern and lead his people. So, and I hope he keeps it in prayers also, that he's being guided right, and ask the Lord to show him the way and to guide his tongue to say the right things. um, the amount of calls I have gotten. Oops, excuse me, let me get my water bottle. I trek with my water bottle that I sip on regularly. Oops, that I sip on regularly. But as I said, um, bro God needs to exercise. I'm gonna sit back into my green sofa. Mm. What you say, my favorite little chair in the house, yeah? Um, bro God is going to take the proper measures to protect his people, in the same way how Maroon leader guy step up on the plate to protect his people. Big up Maroon Curry. We're proud of you. That's how leaders for go on. Take responsibility. You have a responsibility for a certain set of people. You can't go out about your leading people and your house not done good. The first place you're going to make sure is okay most of the time is in your own home. And this is why I get so angry and bitter when I see people out there say they want to be leaders and they want to be bosses, they want to be in charge, And when you check them at them house, it not turn good. Them home are fall apart. They are falling apart. They can't put it together, yet they're looking to take on more responsibilities on their agenda. It doesn't work like that. Because if you cannot handle a situation, there should be, since you are in a leadership position, there should be certain things put in place to ensure the points or the parts that you can manage is being managed by your instructions, your request. Because all you have to do is speak, designate. You don't have to do nothing more. As a leader, you take in the statistics, you designate certain people to certain posts and certain responsibility. One, you must know, first you must know where your home is and where your first responsibility is. And if you can identify where your home is, where you belong, where you come from, you can't be a leader. It doesn't make sense, right? So when I hear people are run up and down like wild goose and crazy people, yeah, it look like the COVID really mad a lot of people head. Because if you don't even know where you come from, one, to can protect where you come from first as your home, to then say, okay, let me go out now and try and protect other people. Yeah, since my home seems okay, my home knows that if they are not okay, they can call on me. They can call on me to say, um, leader, mommy, daddy, papa, I'm not okay. Bro God, me not okay. And bro God will say, okay, that goddess designate to you. That is a leader, because the leader knows that he has certain responsibilities to certain situations. But when you are run up and down like you're homeless, you know, live nowhere, and you go, you don't know where you belong, and then at the same time you want to run country, and you want to lead the people, and you going to tell them what to do, you turn the people them in an idiot. Because basically them are gonna follow you and run up and down a turn fool too. Like them not know where them belong and them homeless and them not live nowhere. So the whole point is that you have to check yourself first, check to know where you come from, know your home, put things into place into your home to see that they are okay and that is okay. And then you can say, okay, I'm out here and I'm gonna try and advise others and lead others as to where they're going. Because in the same way how I made sure my home is okay, other people want to make sure their home is okay, and they're going to look on you as a leader to help them to make the right decision to make sure their home is okay too. Okay, so peeps, that's one thing I would like to say on the topic of leadership and the way in which Brogard, PM Andrew Holness, is nicknamed Brogard. With our PM, our JAPM Andrew Holness is taking on his approach. To be honest with you, I don't know what would be the right thing to do, but if he is following the instructions given to him by other leaders on how they are coping, because he's a young one, you know, he's a young one. Just like you remember the little girl, 21-year-old, what's her name? Shakara Richardson. Lord, she makes me laugh, she makes me laugh, she makes me laugh. She's a baby, yeah. She's 21, as they said before the race. She's a newbie, and she has been blundering so far, trying to keep up to the big girls who are older into the races, you know. And I guess her dream is one day to win a gold medal from one of these big things. So she's trying to get her mindset, condition her mind to the positive thought, you know, to do it. And sweetheart, she's overwhelmed. You could see as a baby she's overwhelmed because she's in the wrong race. Because for her to start out her race and come in last and she had to be handling it, it's like she was really in the wrong race. And US put her into the race, and she's so cute and tiny, into the wrong race. And when she loses, like she's shattered, she can't handle it. She said, I'm not done yet, I'm not done yet.
Jamaican people is like, oh yes, you are. You need to go home. You need to behave. So it's like some of our peoples, they go into some situations with the idea that they can do better than those who they see was in there. Yeah, those who they see was in the position. Then you have some who goes in the idea humbly, wanting to do as the big guys and girls do, but is willing to learn and take a leaf out of the books. You know, your beaten and your punishment wouldn't be so harsh if you took the latter. Humble yourself to learn from the big guys and learn what it is. And then when they think they have taught you well enough, then they would designate you as the next leader. Yeah? Or if you are deserving, you will run that race and win your medals. Yeah? Because you have learned and matured and developed into that game of which the big guys are playing, that when you're developing, you show gratitude, appreciation, just like how Elaine Thompson, Hera, and Shelly-Ann, and Sharika Jackson, um, does when they ran their race. They run their race, they put out their best, and they humble themselves, running and winning their medals, and then they were able to share that, no, I was coming from long time. Yes, we're practically old now. We are 30 odd and 40 odd in this, nearly 40 into this race thing. And in running is a short. You can't be too old in it, because when you get old, you slow down a bit. Because as them say, when you're getting older in life, you can't run as fast as you used to run, or do things as quick and efficiently as you used to do when you're younger. But the young girl now, I suppose she feels she's 21, she's young, and she going to train up, and she have all this ambition and high hopes that she could match up with the Jamaican girls them. And sweetheart, it really showed her up. Say yes, she have that big ambition and everything. And I think she was just a real nice American mascot for her performance of she put on. I don't know if when America saw how confident and excited she was to pull off this race thing, that them couldn't bother tell her, say no, you can't go. She must have really did whatever. And that is where some people do that with the games that we play in life, and get into positions where they are not even ready for. They're not even ready for, and then they go out there, make a fool of themselves, embarrass themselves, and them a lose, and them now accept the fact that they cannot run that race. Let it go. You understand? Them a hang on pan it, and them insist them not give up, because me want beat up them old people there, them too big, and them in it long time, and them shouldn't be there. So it's like the same thing you have into the politics. You have some young people will go into it, see the older folks in it long time, supposed to be learning what it is that they need to learn to know how to manage whatever it is that they need to manage in order to effectively lead the people in the right way that they need to go. But as I'm saying, if you're young and you're going into it, you can't go in at it like, oh, I am the world's greatest and I know what me doing and nobody else no good. Because it's like you're a Shakari Richardson the second. Because Shakari Richardson is put in there to show up those type of people who does that. Put themselves into a position that them cannot manage, and then a run race with the big winners. You understand, them a run this race with the big winners as if
You know, and when them a lose now, it's pure balling and balling. You need to let it go and take yourself out. But I'm not done yet, and I'm not done yet. And then, Shelly Ann just tease her. Shelly Ann tease her and say, "You're not done yet." What? You know, like she give her an expression like, what's the problem? What's this baby's problem? You know, but you have babies that do that because they want to be as big as the people that they see out there before them, and it's not really to serve a purpose. It's just to show off. I just for show off to, not to serve them. No need to be in that position, but them just want to show off to say, me up there, I'm a big, and what the hell? So, sweetie pies, I am just saying, one, as youngsters, when you go into an organization or a game or a situation where you see people there before you doing their thing and they're doing it well and winning at it, you need to go in there to learn from them, not to bully them, not to eggs up on them and tear them down and go on like say you did know more than them long ago and you come now for beat up everybody. You can't do that. You can't do that. It's stupid. You look fool. You look very fool when you do that. If you're going into a situation, you have to humbly, listen and learn and take your time, understand what is happening. If the person feel that is the person who is teaching you the ropes, coaching you what to do, if it's the running or whatever it is you're doing, if the person coaching you and helping you to get along, then no, you can, and if that person will actually say, I think you are ready to take it on your own now, I think you are good now, and they will pass it over to you, they will hand it over to you. But you stand there and want to beat up the people them and take them on and I mean no more than you, and you carry on, and I'm big shot and you're small fries and whatever. I mean, it's just showing you up, say you're not ready yet, and those things are going to just make people let you go and make you just drop flat. Because that is what I have to do. You're coming to ask me for help. People coming to ask me for help when I can't even help myself some of the times. Sometimes I am sick and popping down. And I have to still hold up to the responsibilities that I have to make sure all the things that I am assigned to do gets done. You understand? And things are working. And I can't say nothing whether I'm doing it or not. I have to humble myself and keep my little behind put. And pray to God and say, help me, Lord, help me, Lord. Yeah? And when people are come now to shove on more on me because I am not complaining, because I didn't go put myself in a position, in a situation where me thinks that me and Big Shot them are equal. I'm going to equal up myself like me and them are equal because me know me are small fries. You understand? No matter how old me is, I me know my limits. So me take my times, do what me doing. You understand? And me not gonna show off upon people and tell people about how me have this and me have that and whatever. You understand? And when you come now and I do that and then you come now upon me now to give me your responsibility, me gonna say no, you go and do your thing because you're doing your thing and I have already given you all that you need to have gotten to get to where you need to go as my investment of caring for another human being into the world. And if me do that with you one time, that is and I look and see what am I yielding from what I have invested in that. Me not do it a second time because if I do it one time and me not see no yield, I come back in from my investment into you. Me not doing it a second time. I don't think my God will encourage me to go back that route. He might go take me out of it. Because that is what, even me looking up and researching my numerology chart. And my numerology chart and my astrological chart say, Chrissy, it is time you remove all those toxic people out of your life. The Jupiter table is in alignment. And you need to clean up your space and stop let the people them trample you and a step up on you for advancing a life and a shove you down into the ground like you are nobody. Work on all the things you have started. You have done so much work. Try and complete your work. Try and learn more about what you're doing. And be persistent and work at it. Don't let the people them come distract you with their sad stories and them plead for mercy for you for help them, because they're when you help them, can you call on them to help them? And the point of you helping somebody is for when time come you can call on them to help you. And I have to look back and say, all these people that I have helped, which one of them I could call back on to say, help me if I need it? And most of them, when you call upon them, them want pay. Them want you give them how much they had, thousands of dollars, when them never have it and did want make it into the world. Did you charge them? No, you gave them voluntarily. You gave them your time voluntarily. You buy things for them voluntarily. You contribute a whole lot of things voluntarily to them. And help them to get on the road, to get going to do something for themselves. And when you have wasted your time and your investment on certain people, the Lord says it's time to let it go, move on, go in different direction. There are more people in the world that will more than appreciate your help and your love and your support. So be careful on who you waste your time on. And as I said, I'm a gambler, so I take chances. And I might take a chance and gamble on you today. Yeah? Just like how me take a chance and gamble on a business and an opportunity over there. You know? On life and stuff like that. Yes, I take chances and I gamble on people. And sometimes some of the people that I gamble on is just a bad gamble. It's a bad gamble. It wastes my time, it wastes my money, and it wastes all my health. Because when I finish, it's like me go mad. It's like me gone mentally ill, because you talk to them till you burn out. You burn out yourself. So sometimes you have to have that boundary and that limit to know how much you're going to invest in somebody, how much you're going to time you can spend with somebody too. And you don't spend all your time with one person. You share it across the border. So when some people are ready for malfunction and carry on with them dramas upon you, you know, all right, let that one go, and you go to the next person. Because God teaches us, you know, He teaches us what a person will do when you invest in them. He is teaching us. Him show you, you know, Him show you little signs. But when I see my signs first, when me young and whatever, me say, well, maybe it's with me and maybe other people. Because sometimes you help one person, you know, and you invest in one person and it turn out a bad deal. But they go to another person invest in them and it turn out to be a good deal for that person. But when you come on and you're listening to a history and you realize everybody is investing in this person and it is still working out to be a bad deal, let it go. Let it go. Make it people go about them business and go find a way to figure them way out. No need to pretty up nothing and let the people them tear you down trying to help them and them don't appreciate it. Because appreciation comes from how do you give back to where you come from. Right? So we're going to see now how our beautiful runners, well, Shelly Ann did a marvelous job in giving back to her country. Usain Bolt did a marvelous job in giving back to his country. Asafa Powell, you know, those guys made us so proud in their behavior out on the international scenes when we supported them and put them out there. Oh, and then them come back to Jamaica and they contributed positively. Yeah, those are people you can big up regularly. We'll see Elaine, she has been doing well, but as she said, she was suffering from her injuries and stuff. Well, Well, she's in the top lead now. She run her race and she's doing very well. We're gonna see how she's gonna come back and give back to the country that have made her. You understand, and her community and what is happening, because I mean that's what you build your people for. That's what you build your people for. You know, you take out people. It's human beings, you know. We're all human beings, you know, coming from humble beginnings, and we come out and we go up into society and we get opportunities out there. As I say, opportunities just come once each time. You understand? So when the opportunity is coming, prepare yourself. It comes once each time. Yeah? And if you make the worst of it, when you get that opportunity, believe me, it is going to follow you. Because it is, history repeats itself, and it's a reflection on what you did with the first opportunity. You understand? And if you cannot come up with something substantial, that is what them call failure. You're a walking failure, because you walk, you step, you're running failure. You move, you look like you're doing well, but you're still not come out of you. So therefore, people are waste them time upon you. Them are waste them money upon you. You waste people time too. You're wasting people time too. So all this quarantine thing is what is happening in our universe and the people's minds, and what is happening. It have to hold way back a little enough to show you. Say sometimes you waste your time on certain people, and you need to stop wasting your time on certain people, because if you never did waste your time on certain people, certain things would have turned out differently. But we had to get this kind of wake-up call. Quarantine them, turn on your yard, make everything stop. No movement there. Nothing at all must go on. Because when we do that, at least people can get to take a real check of themselves and realize what them doing, and they will realize that some of their time they're wasting on people who don't need them time to be wasted on. You don't need to waste your time on certain people. Certain people, it's not worth it. It's waste of time, and you are setting back yourself, wasting your time with them. You understand? You have to make sure, say, you know who you can do your charity to, and you give your charity to certain people. Designate your charity. Okay, charity person that, charity person that, charity person that. Investment, no, investment that, investment that, investment that. Yeah? You have to designate, and designate properly, because you can be wasting all your time doing work, you understand, that you think you're going to prosper out of, and nothing can come out of it. Nothing can come out of it. You're just wasting your time doing that. So the quarantine time is a time for you to take a rain check. Take a rain check on what you're doing, and see if whatever you're doing is something can come out of it, or is just charity, you know. Because you know what charity is. You give with no expectation. You're not expecting to get back nothing in return, because the person can't be talked. It might be a dog, a plant, a puss, because some humans are like that too. Some businesses are like that. Some places are like that. It's just your time and your money spent, and it's a dead spent. Yeah, it's a dead spent. So sometimes you have to check on those little things in our life to know if you're really making strides, you know, into whatever it is you want, the direction you want your life to take. If you want to be a business person, if you want to be an athlete, if you want to be a anything, politician, if you want to be a anything that you want to be, it takes time and money, and I guess passion too. Yeah, because if you don't love it, when the trials hit and the embarrassment hit, you're going to feel shame. And what you're going to do when you feel shame? Some people can't even handle them shame the way how them bossy. They're so bossy. When shame attack them, they can't manage the shame, you know. It is too much to handle. But in life, them say God have to humble you. When him humble you, then you will realize that he loves you to bless you. But if you can't, if God can't humble you, and nobody can humble you, you can't get no blessing. The blessing can't come. Yeah, I mean, a lot of people is feeling so trialed about this God thing and this God thing because church lockdown and everything. It's because of the whole heap of false prophet them and false prophet them into it. There's a spiritual warfare going on. Yes, your ancestors them is into it too, and them knows that some of them is leading them children astray and everything. So war have to broke out spiritually to stop. So that's why the church them have to lock down to make people take a rain check of themselves, read up them Bible, see what they're really for, and understand things, and stick to no understanding of life. As we say, if we're actually in the 7th year of PM wholeness leadership, then the truth is gonna have to eventually come out this year of who him is, what is he doing, and if he's actually doing what he's supposed to do properly. Yeah, truth will come out with how the country's been governed, if it is actually good or bad, because you have mixed stories by two parties. Some people say them like it and it's going well, while some people is having a whole heap of arguments and fuss because of the lockdown and the money now run and it's slow and this and that. But they say it's the world is having that setback. So we will see what else comes out of it. We survived last year, and this is another year to survive, and I don't know how much longer we're gonna go through it. But Andrew Holden seemed to be using his numerology. So if it says 3 days and 3 weeks of lockdown, 333, then we're doing a completion, right? And I guess in the 3rd week somebody got dead or something got dead, I don't know, but they say after death you get eternal life. So kill a goat now. Does it have to be a human death, right? But such is life. If you ever shed the blood, there are a lot of animals who eat mutton and all them things there, and the spirits roam and I look bodies we're going to. So let's see, and wishing you guys all the best for the Sunday. I give you a good 1 hour talking on the livelihood and how to survive in it. And if you want to be a leader, as I say, to be a successful leader, your home have to be in proper order first before you can go to other people's house and say about you want to run their house. And in addition, if you want to go lead the country, you can't lead the country if from the beginning your home not done good. And that is the philosophy I go by in this life. Yeah, fix yourself first before you can fix anybody else. If you sick, you can't nurse somebody. If the nurse sick, how you gonna nurse another person? You have to get better first. Now common sense, a common sense, a common sense, right? So always remember that in everything you do. So whether you're going to be a successful leader in life, if that is your aim, try make sure so you fix yourself first. Because when people work hard and have them things, you can't just pick up yourself and just look out there and see it and say, I want it too, I may go get it too, I may go take it from them too. I may know more than them, I may could have do it better than them, I may gone in it. It doesn't work like that. So in order to be a successful leader, guys, first rule, the primary rule, fix yourself first, fix your home first. Once there's a fix and things are happening for you, then you can pick up yourself and say, all right, I'm going to lead the country, I'm going to lead them, the home there, I'm going to lead those people down there, right? But you have to make sure that you're okay, you're healthy, your home is okay, you know where your income come from and everything, and then you go fast with other people. Yeah? You can't, and on top of it, you can't go look and say, you see one rich man with a rich family and everything, and he have everything, and you go come get some of it and take it from him. That not work either. Because in order for the person to accommodate you, you have to come with something too. And if you not have no way, if you not live no way, you can't come and say you're going to take one for them own. You have to build one for yourself too. And if you don't want to, if you can't afford to build one, you must have been coming from somewhere where you can fix up what you did have. You suppose you can fix up what you did have. You say, at least me have something too. But you can't go in at the people them space with them family, them wife, them picnics and everything and say, I know it's mine. It can't be yours. It is theirs. Okay? So just put that in your head and register it forever and ever and ever. You don't go out. And once you have that mentality and that intention, it will go backfire upon you. Because you see, because me love people and me love come straight up, me not go fooling up, you know. I don't want to fooling up and making you feel say that is the done thing to do. It is not the done thing to do, and people are going to target you, people are going to kill you, and people are going to treat you badly and shame you and make you feel bad about yourself. So take care of yourself and fix up you first, and then now you can go and go see if you can help other people. If that is what you say your intention actually is, your genuine intention is to help people, fix up where you come from first and know where you come from and know where you belong. And then once you know where you belong, then you can take time grow, and the Lord will bless you to help you to grow too. But if you can't identify where you belong also, you know, God push you back. He keep pushing you back, pushing you back, pushing you back until you find out where you belong. You see, like how them do Elaine, when she come out, she come and she come, and the people them have all sort of rumors to say where she come from. The point is that she knew where she coming from though, so she could have fixed it up and continue running to get more, to continue fixing up where she coming from. So that is the same attitude everybody has to relate to in life if they want to get to some place. Know where you're coming from. Fix up where you come from in order to go a little further. If you can't fix up where you come from to go further, then it will keep pushing you back, pushing you back, pushing you back till you land back which part you come from for realize that that's where you come from, fix it up. It not turn good. So have a wonderful Sunday now, peeps. I am having a good quarantine so far, thank God, because I'm not feeling too pained. And I'm just enjoying my quiet, peace and quiet. You notice I hardly have any sounds around me because my head go berserk with too much noise. But that's just me. When you're accustomed to certain things, you just love it. Peace and quiet. Big up.